Okay, let's dive right into this explainer and demystify exactly how to build that perfect aesthetic physique. Look, every guy wants it, but the reality is most are never going to get there. And it's not because they're lazy. It's usually because they're following the entirely wrong blueprint. So today, we're breaking down the actual math and structure behind an aesthetic body. We're talking the specific ratios that create that wide-shouldered, tight waist, razor-sharp look, and we'll give you a phase-by-phase plan to actually achieve it. Here's our roadmap by today. First, we'll tackle the aesthetic physique problem, then the 3 aesthetic ratios. After that, we go through phase 1, the foundation, followed by phase 2, details and diet, and finally, phase 3, building the taper. All right, section 1, the aesthetic physique problem. Let's uncover the frustrating reality so many gym goers face. Seriously, why do some guys train every single day but still look completely average? We've all seen it, right? Guys putting in hours of brutal hard work, sweating it out day after day, but they still end up with that soft, skinny fat look. We really need to understand why this happens. On the flip side, you've probably noticed guys who aren't even massive, yet they look incredibly aesthetic and masculine, even just throwing on a basic t-shirt. So what's the actual difference here? It really comes down to the man versus boy effect. A wider, stronger neck instantly makes a physique look way more masculine and complete, even if you don't have that extra sheer bulk. It's not about facial hair, it's literally the neck. A well-developed neck frames your face and shifts your whole vibe from boyish to sharply aesthetic. Once you grasp this, I guarantee the entire way you approach your training is going to change. Moving right along to section 2, the 3 aesthetic ratios, because truly aesthetic bodies aren't built by random exercises, they're built by precise math. Mastering these 3 specific ratios is the literal formula that separates an average body from a stunning one. First up is the shoulder-to-waist ratio. Basically, the wider your shoulders and the tighter your waist, the more dramatic your V-taper looks, even at a lower body weight. Second is the neck-to-trap ratio. Strong upper traps paired with a thick neck instantly make your frame look bigger and your jawline sharper. And finally, the upper chest to mid-torso ratio. When your upper chest sits high and your midsection is tight, your whole upper body just looks lifted, fuller, and honestly, a lot cleaner. Let's get into section 3, phase 1, the foundation. Let's see how pouring the right foundation absolutely makes or breaks your proportions. This number might actually shock you, but building your neck, traps, and upper chest drives a massive 80% of your visual transformation. I mean, 80%. That is an enormous return on investment for muscle groups that typical gym routines completely ignore. If you want to look more masculine, these are absolutely the very first muscles you must build because they perfectly frame your entire upper body. So how do we do it? These are the delicate but super essential movements you need to hit 2 to 3 times a week. Always warm up first to protect yourself, obviously. For neck extensions, lie face down on a bench, let your head hang off, and lift and lower slowly for 10 to 15 reps. Start with 0 weight. Seriously, control matters way more than ego here. Nobody wants to be the guy who pulls a neck muscle trying to show off. Next, flip over for neck flexions, bringing your chin to your chest for 10 to 12 reps. Finally, trap shrugs. Pull those shoulders up, hold for a firm 1-second squeeze, and release slowly for 12 to 15 reps. Most guys skip this entirely, and that's exactly why they never get that finished aesthetic look. All right, section 4, phase 2, details and diet. Once the foundation is set, we start adding in those crucial architectural details. Defined forearms are basically the strongest aesthetic signal you can send out into the world, especially in a t-shirt. We hit these with palm-up forearm curls for 12 to 15 reps and palm-down reverse curls for 10 to 12 reps to build that top of the forearm. But here's the catch. A great upper body requires a tight waist underneath it. You don't need insane, intense regimens for this. Simple movements like holding planks for 30 to 45 seconds tighten up your core. And honestly, just getting outside and walking more pulls your waist in tightly by burning fat without you even having to overthink it. But listen, all those exercises mean absolutely nothing without waist control. There's a profound truth here. If you can't measure it, you can't improve it. Visible abs are built on controlled calories, not luck, and definitely not guessing. Fortunately, tools out there like Cow AI make hitting a calorie deficit almost effortless, just by scanning your meals. Look, tracking food manually is incredibly inconsistent and just annoying, which is why most people end up quitting before they ever get lean. But by snapping a photo or scanning a barcode, you instantly get your calories and macros broken down in seconds. When your calorie intake is finally controlled, your waistline tightens up. And when your waist tightens, that V-taper we're working so hard on suddenly pops. Now for section 5, Phase 3. Building the taper. For this final architectural phase, we're basically putting the roof on the house by maximizing the shoulders and lats.
If you miss these specific shoulder and lat movements, your V-taper simply won't exist. Your entire proportion blueprint will just fall apart. You need pike push-ups to target those front delts. You need lateral raises using dumbbells or even water bottles to cap the side delts. And the rear delt fly, lifting out and back like wings, is crucial for the back of the shoulders. Finally, to actually widen the back itself, you absolutely have to incorporate pull-ups or a lat-focused row, basically anything that forces your elbows down and back.
To organize all of this, you should be following a push-pull-leg cycle twice a week, which means every muscle gets trained twice. A push day covers your chest, shoulders, and triceps. A pull day handles your back and biceps. And leg day tackles, you guessed it, your legs and core. Repeating this highly effective cycle optimizes your volume perfectly without overtraining. But just following a split isn't quite enough. You have to embrace the ultimate golden rule of fitness, progressive overload. Simply put, if your numbers stay the same, your body stays the exact same. Every single week, you have to demand just a little bit more from your body. Add one more rep, add one more set, or just add a tiny bit more weight to the bar. If those numbers are going up, your physique is guaranteed to grow. Finally, let's lock in these basic nutritional requirements so your digestion stays clean and your physique changes twice as fast. Nutrition does not have to be a nightmare, I promise. Aim to hit 1.6 to 2.2 grams of protein per kilogram of your body weight. Set your calories to a slight surplus if you need to build or a deficit if you need to cut. Use carbs for training energy, keep your fats in check for strong hormones, and please eat your greens every day so your body actually processes all this fuel efficiently rather than just storing it. We've seen today that true aesthetics aren't about mindless lifting. They are about targeted ratios, prioritizing the neck and traps, locking down that waist through precise data, and capping it off with wide shoulders and lats. The exact formula is right in front of you. So as you head back to the gym, ask yourself, are you going to keep doing random exercises and hoping for the best? Or are you finally ready to follow the blueprint and build a masterpiece?